Bitcoin's detractors often refer to it as a speculative asset. And what they tend to imply by this is that it's, volatile, riskier, with a short-term time horizon, and often they think that there's an incomplete investment thesis. Now, there's some truth to some of this reasoning, but of course it's a very unhelpful connotation because it associates Bitcoin with fly-by-nights who are merely trying to make a quick buck. We obviously have to push back against the nonsense that Bitcoin is a money-making scam. But I do think we actually need to embrace speculation. And here are my 5 reasons why. So first of all, speculators serve a purpose in all financial markets. Speculators provide liquidity, which improves efficiency and enhances price discovery in financial markets. Without speculators, price changes could be quite sharp and sudden. Real money participants could also struggle to execute their trades timeously when they want to, without speculators who are willing to kind of take the other side of the market and provide a price. So even if you don't want to be a technical trader or a speculator yourself, I don't think we just need to undermine the service that these actors provide in the markets. Second, all investors are actually speculators. If you think about it, investments involve decisions based on an uncertain future, which implies we're speculating on the future. Now, of course, certain types of investing, like value investing, try to mitigate against speculation by buying cheap assets at elevated yields. But even value investors make some degree of a speculation on an uncertain future. For example, value investors need to determine if a cheap company will remain in business over the next 5 years, which can't always be determined with the data. Third, financial market conditions created by central banks and fiscal authorities encourage more speculation than it would be otherwise. Low interest rate policies and all the debt growth that we've seen over the last 10, 20, 30 years has made traditional investments overvalued. This makes all investments inherently that much more speculative than they would be otherwise. Investors aren't rewarded for reducing speculation and purchasing cheaper assets or the value style. They're rewarded for increasing speculation and purchasing expensive assets in the hope that they might become more expensive in the future. Just as an example, look at the market capitalization of Tesla versus the rest of the vehicle market. This doesn't make a huge amount of sense. But what's happening here is investors are speculating based on the future potential of electric cars and technology. I'm not trying to make a specific comment here about Tesla as a good or bad investment. What I'm trying to describe to you is the way in which monetary and fiscal policies have inherently made all financial markets that much more speculative than they should be. And seen through this lens, the idea of accusing another asset of being speculative kind of doesn't really pack much punch. So fourth, unsound monetary and fiscal policies are so extreme that they've had pernicious impacts on economic growth, inequality, trust, social stability, corruption. And these challenges are systemic and they're difficult to hedge against. In the past, you could mitigate against socioeconomic challenges in one country by investing in another country. Or you could mitigate against overvaluation in one asset class by investing in a cheaper asset class. But the global nature of our unsound monetary and fiscal policies implies that it's much more difficult to find a suitable hedge. Most countries and asset classes are facing similar challenges in 2020 and 2021. Bitcoin functions as an alternative form of money, and it could have a role to play in future monetary regimes. So it serves as a rare hedge against our current monetary system. So uncertain, yes, but enormous potential and a hedge worth speculating on. Fifth, one doesn't need to believe in economic political regime change to see the value in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is functioning as a digital decentralized store of value, and it has stored wealth for its users under the current regime. 3-year rolling returns are almost always positive for Bitcoin. So anyone who's held longer than 3 years has stored value in dollars. So from this perspective, one could argue that Bitcoin isn't speculative at all. What I'm doing here is just articulating the speculative mindset required to think through the future. And if one expects economic policy to continue along its current trajectory, and if Bitcoin functions in the way that it has in the past 11 years, this speculation on the future may turn out to be a very high probability outcome. So in summary, I think we have to adjust our understanding and embrace speculation, realize the value it serves, and appreciate that often all of our actions are inherently some way speculative. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to find out more, please read the full article, which is in the description link below, and subscribe to the channel, leave your comments, and yeah, it's just engage about these subjects and learn more about sound money and the positive impact that Bitcoin can have on our investments and our society.